Example number 1, instructions. Consider the account of the debtor and the creditor and complete the missing information and amounts in the accounts. So we must just complete the accounts. Let's look at the debtor's ledger first. Now the first thing to do is to add your plus and your minuses. If this is debtor's ledger, it means it's an asset account. Therefore the debit column would be adding and the credit column would be subtracting, therefore giving us the balance. So the first entry that's missing is the balance beginning of the month. So if we're on 2,300 and we added 1,500, therefore if I reverse what I've done, I can get back to the balance. So 2,300 minus 1,500 gives you the original balance of 800 Rand. Then we consider 2,300 balance. I'm in the credit column, therefore I want to decrease the 2,000. So how much is the amount in balance going to be? And the amount in balance will be 300 Rand. Now I can also see that it makes sense that it's a decreasing effect because I wrote out a receipt telling me that the debtor came to pay money. Then also my balance decreases further to a value of 0. So when that happens to the value of 0, I needed to decrease my account with 300 to get it to 0. So in other words, 300. So what can be something on the same date decreases by 200 and then again by 300 to the value of 0? That could only be discount that was allowed. So receipt number 33 again, CRJ again, and that's the discount that was allowed. Then on the 16th there was a petty cash voucher PCJ 45 Rand. So 45 Rand increases my account to a balance of 45 Rand. On the 22nd we have an invoice that we wrote out to the value of 1,700. So invoices to debtors are written out by using the DJ. So 1,700 plus the 45 Rand gives me a new balance of 1,745 Rand. Now the next one is a little bit of a tricky one because there's 3 things missing in that entry. So first consider the next entry, that is the journal voucher 11. So journal voucher 11 coming from the general journal together with the previous line, the CPJ, tells me that there probably were an RD check and it's discount that needs to be reversed. So this RD check is then due to the last check payment, and the last check payment that I can see here, a receipt from my debtor, is on the 12th for 2,300 Rand. So 2,000 Rand gets cancelled in the CPJ, and then the 300 Rand would be cancelled in the general journal. So the document connected to 2,000 Rand is either a bank statement or an RD check. So the 2,000 Rand makes my account increase, or the debtor's account increase to 3,745. The 300 Rand makes it an increase further to 4,045 Rand. Then there's another journal voucher on the 28th. That journal voucher is probably due to interest charged onto our account, so it comes from the general journal. 405 Rand in the increasing column, in the debit column. Therefore it causes an increase onto my balance that makes my balance 4,450 Rand. Next is the creditor's ledger. Again, we start off by saying this is a liability. Liabilities credit increases the account and debits decreases the account. This just helps us to figure out whether it was supposed to increase the balance or decrease the balance. So firstly, the first entry says my balance was 2,870. Now it is 5,600. So in other words, what made it go up all the way to 5,600? and there's an invoice, a credit purchase invoice to the value of 2,730, which is in the credit column, so it increases, so it's correct. Now when an invoice, a credit purchase invoice is written out, it means that it was written out and it was taken to the CJ. So my journal used was the CJ. On the 11th, check counterfoil was written out, CPJ, so it means that we went and we paid them 5,400, which means our balance decreased all the way to 200. On that same day, we decreased our balance further to 50 Rand. So meaning that we decreased it with 150 Rand. What is the reason for the 150 Rand? Also from the CPJ, it can only be discount that was received. On the 19th, petty cash voucher comes from the petty cash journal. An extra 50 Rand was decreased, so we probably paid them out of the petty cash with 50 Rand. So now our balance is at 0 Rand. Then on the 21st, there was an RD check in the CRJ. So in other words, this RD check, CRJ, cancels out the entry that we had in the CPJ. So in other words, this 5,400 now needs to be reversed, the same as what this 150 was reversed there. Remember, with an RD check, we reverse the payment and we reverse the discount received. So the payment was reversed by adding 5,400 back into the account, and that's how we got our balance again to 5,400. Then there's a journal voucher. Journal vouchers comes from the general journal, 150 Rand. So 150 Rand is also added onto the account, makes my account now 5,550. Then there's another journal voucher on the 25th, also coming from the general journal. All journal vouchers comes from the general journal for 555 Rand, and that's probably because it's in the increasing column. In the credit column, I can assume that this is interest that was added onto my account that's in overdue. So that brings my current balance to 6,105 Rand.